I'm here with Tuan, the owner and operator of the Dice House in Fullerton. And we're just going to do a little interview. So, should we get started?
Sure.
All right. So, you do board games here, right?
Yes.
Why did you pick board games instead of, say, video games or, you know, little tabletop minis or something?
The biggest thing I find different between, let's say, video games and board games is there's a lot more social interaction. You're sitting around a table with all the players, with your family, your friends, and there's a lot more involved. It's kind of like a really interesting conversation. There's a lot of stuff going on when you're staring at a computer screen or at a TV, and you can't really high five a TV. Well, you could, but you'd probably destroy it.
That might be awkward.
Yeah.
I don't know. We don't tell people we do that. I've never done that ever.
Me neither.
So you do board games here, and you have times when people come in and they'll just play board games. You have like tournaments and things like that.
Yeah, we have events. We organize it. What we try to do here is create a community. Have a place for people to come, play, have fun. Actually, the board game events are absolutely free. We don't charge anything for it, and we actually have like a shelf of games that are open for them to come in, try out, play it, and just have fun. It's not just all about sales. It's about creating a community.
Okay, yeah. And what's your favorite part about the people who come in and play? And
just the interaction. It's so much fun. I mean, they'll start playing board game, but then we'll just start talking about like the latest movies. Just stuff in the news, and so like I said, it becomes a conversation with a really fun game in the middle going on.
Okay. And if, say, somebody wanted to get their family involved, their family and their friends, like, what would you say is a good thing about board games or maybe a good board game that you think is?
Usually I try to start off with something simple for them, something that's not too daunting. I mean, I carry a lot of Euro games, but that's not something you want someone to just be like, play a Euro game, It's more of like the simple card games that are closer to like the original mainstream games like Uno or Monopoly. But the games I carry are a lot more involved, there's more strategy. But there's ones that are really simple strategy to push them along, and then they can, delve into the games that are like, a lot more intense strategy-wise. But I usually just recommend something simple. I mean, a lot of the games that I carry, they'll have like age groups, how long it takes to play, and so it guides them.
Yeah.
It guides them into it, so it makes it a lot easier.
Cool. And I hear that you've just started a family.
I have.
Yourself. So,
Yes.
what would you want to play with your family? When?
I would like my child to love zombies. Sci-fi,
everyone
sci-fi.
should love zombies.
I can't wait until he's old enough to watch Star Wars.
There you go.
I'm a big Lord of the Rings nut, so that too. Can't wait for them. But I like the games that promotes imagination.
Okay.
That's what I was raised on. I loved comics, cartoons, anime, all that, and that's what I was drawn to. And a lot of the games I carry are based around that: sci-fi, fantasy, supernatural. It's just more fun. Everyday life is the real world. When you play a game, you kind of want to escape the real world.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. No.
That's what I tell them. Enjoy life, but also open your imagination to other things.
And you also have a lot of the card games here, like Magic and things like that.
Yeah.
What one do you think is the most popular?
Well, Magic definitely is the most popular card game out there. But there's a lot of non-collectible card games nowadays. Not too long ago, they started introducing deck building games, which are amazing. It's a game unto itself, and everyone plays with the same cards. And it's one of those games where you don't have to constantly buy more cards. Which is a kind of a stigma. Like people say, like, the more money you have, the better the deck you have, which is only one part of the aspect. But
and if you get lucky with like booster packs,
exactly,
you have all the luck.
Yeah, with deck building games, there's no luck. It's all strategy. So there's luck in playing.
Yeah.
But not in purchasing. So.
You know what you're gonna get.
Yeah, you know what you're gonna get.
And that way you can, it can be even and
a much more level playing field.
Yeah, and if you're new, it's not like oh, I don't know that much about this game, so I bought these cards that I thought were amazing, but they really weren't. And
Exactly, and
you
if like
just-
the person working the counter isn't familiar, they'll be like, "Oh, just buy this."
Yeah,
You know, you want to guide them the right way, but unfortunately, most places don't guide you the right way. You know, I don't. It's not about how much money you spend; it's how much fun I want you to have. And when you have fun, you want to play more games and explore new games, and so forth. So that's kind of what we do here. You know, just there's this, but there's also this, and I can tell you how many people have crossed over from Magic to board games,
Okay.
from board games to role playing games. You know, all that. So it's quite fun.
And you do the role playing games as well.
Yes, yes, I do. When I first started working in the industry, I was introduced to role-playing games, and it's arguably one of the most fun things you can do. It gets a really bad, reputation.
I know what you mean. I love role playing games.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But it's one of the most creative tabletop games you can play. You know, with a person, it's kind of like a choose your own adventure, where the dungeon master.
I always die in those. The books, the ones
Yeah.
that you get, and you're like, oh no, I have to go down the alley. Should I bring my rope or should I bring a gun? And
Page
I end
73, you're
yeah,
dead.
You're dead.
Oh.
Congratulations.
We'll ignore that I went to that page.
Yeah, I didn't do that. Backtrack.
I know.
Yeah.
But with role-playing games, there's one person that guides everyone. You know, so they have to be creative in the story that they tell, and then the players have to be creative in how they go about that story. You know, which path they choose. So it's very wide open. It's more wide open than any card game, any board game out there. But it's a bit more complicated to get into.
Yes. Although you don't have to necessarily buy a bunch of the stuff.
No,
for
like
it.
anything, a game store should be able to guide you in the right direction without you wasting money. I want you to spend money, but I want you to spend money on the right things.
Yes.
You know, not just stuff that's going to sit in the corner and.
Collect dust. So that
Yes,
you, yeah,
exactly.
I hate dusting, so
Yeah.
I know. But so yeah, you do tournaments and you.
Tournaments, events.
Events.
Yeah, anything that gets people together to play together. One of the hardest parts is trying to find someone to play with, and you don't want to go on some random forum or Craigslist and be like, hey, you want to play a board game? You know?
Yeah, that's not weird or anything.
No, you want the store to centralize it to be the place where you can go there, gather, have people with like minds, like interests, get together and play and have fun.
So yeah. Well, thank you so much for the interview.
You're welcome.
And that has been another interview for Game Gallery.